Sign-up sheets.
It's up.
Oh, okay, great.
So why don't we just move up a little bit, guys? Let everybody else scattered out. Just fill these first rows, it's fine. You guys do, you got 3 right up here. You're right there. Step right up. Okay, so as we get started, good morning, guys. Good morning. We are here today. Welcome Mr. Tom Lee, the class of 1965, who's speaking with us. Just a few kind of back information about Mr. Lee. Class of 1965, attended Seton Hall and NYU as well. So different degrees from there. But most importantly, really, is Mr. Lee's involvement and development in work in Jersey City as it's been expanded. Jersey City right now is at a point of unprecedented kind of development. And really is, there's a lot of shifts and changes going throughout this community. And I can tell you from the adult side of things that that's something Prep is very aware of and is constantly kind of considering and keeping in mind our role as a school in the community, and how we can stay faithful to that, to our mission, to our judge of ideals. So I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Lean right now. I'm just going to talk to you guys for a little bit. Again, there'll be time for Q&A afterwards as well. So, Mr. Tom Lee.
Thank you. I was invited to give this talk by Tony and Todd. I've known Father Rosado for over 50 years. I know he came here as a scholastic. He actually took it for his first year. They taken out of the seminary. And I've been privileged to know him for that time period, and he is also grasping anything Tony asked that we will do. Break this down into short segments if I could. One a little bit about me. You've seen this here. I was a senior planner in the city of Jersey City and became planning director in the city. I was head of the redevelopment agency here, and politically we lost. I went out and worked for a private developer, worked for the richest American. I became director of projects and built projects all over the world. And mostly work on 96 acres that we had in Jersey City. We own the little land between 2nd and 6th Street, between Homicide and Newport, and between Marin Boulevard and on the way, the man I work for, I was a leader in going to money for cancer research. So it was pretty cool to do, to be working for projects that provide money to help. I'm going to talk about the development process and then about development in Jersey City. You know, development's a big field. Who's involved in it? Lawyers, bankers, finances, engineers, environmentalists. What do? You find a piece of land, you take a look at the piece of the land, you do environmental tests to make sure that the land has nothing in it that could harm people. You then decide what you can build on it. You go to the city, you talk to the redevelopment agency or the planning staff, you look and see what you can build, and that's determined by what the zoning is for the area. The city does a comprehensive study, which is called the master plan. It then, underneath it, has what is the zoning, which tells you what you can build, where you can build it, and how you can build it. So you go through that. You then test the ground, find out what you can build in terms of what it can handle in weight, and how you distribute that weight on the site for your foundation. You then have to go finance that. So you find a large building in the city of Jersey City now costs about $200 million. It's a lot of money. So you go to banks, you go to pension funds, insurance companies to get your money to do those projects. You then go through the planning process. You have to have your building approved by the city. And then you have to go get your building permits. And then you put in all this money and you wait 4 or 5 years to find out if you've made any money on the project. So it's a high risk, high reward. There's a lot of money made in development, and you lose a lot of money in development. A lot of it depends upon the times you're in. If you're in good times, you'll rent and you'll sell. If you're in bad times, it becomes a very difficult process. What did I do? What does a developer do? What does an owner's representative do? You manage the process. You put together the lawyers, the bankers, the engineer, and you manage the process of which you go. It's going to take you 3 or 4 years to go through the project and to build the project. So it's a long process, and you better have a lot of patience during the process, because there'll be a lot of times during the process and you don't believe you're going to get it done. When you do get it done, there's a tremendous reward in terms of looking at it and say, geez, we all did that together. If you think you did it, you're in trouble. You need to do it as part of the team. So that's what I did in the real estate development process. City of Jersey City. In 1977, there were 4 single-family homes built in Jersey City. That's all. If you take a look around now, you say, how could that be possible? Well, the City of Jersey City one time had 300,000 people in it, and it's a thriving industrial town. Times changed. In the 50s and the 60s, it was white flight from Jersey City. People moved to the suburbs to get a better life, they thought, for them and their children. And the city went through a very, very tough time. There were a lot of abandoned buildings, property values were down, there was a lot of crime. And the city actually kind of looked hopeless at the time. Jersey City was where people thought of Newark 10 years ago. And times changed. And a mayor was elected who had vision for all young people who wanted to develop a place. And fortunately, the railroads had gone bankrupt, so their land became available for development. So where you see Newport now, where you see Hudson Exchange, where you see Harborside, now it's all, most of Harborside was an old locomotive warehouse building where the trains actually went in and went up the floors. All the rest of it was abandoned railroad yards. It was bleak, and eventually, though, what happened is you see all the development you see now. In Jersey City, over the next 5 or 6 years, will probably be the largest city in the state of New Jersey. I'm convinced it will be. And you see development all over the city. And that's provided revenues to the city, jobs, places to live, and actually a much nicer environment to live in. So that's what's happened over the years. And if you look around now and you'll see developments like you can't believe, 70-story building in Jersey City. Bergen Lafayette, I'm in this business 40 years, and what's happening in Bergen Lafayette is a miracle in terms of how quickly it's occurred over by the Liberty State Science Center. So it's a development that will always provide you with surprises. If you think you know, I've been doing this for 40 years, and every time I think I know something, the system changes. The construction changes, the finances changes, how a city looks at it changes. City now is looking to provide affordable housing in every project. So every project you get approval for, or particularly a tax abatement, you have to give 15% to affordable housing. It's a process that, again, you can make a lot of money at, and it has a high reward, but it's also something you can lose your share. So there's a gambling aspect to it, and you need deep pockets to do the process. So that's it. Anyone have any questions about anything project in Jersey City, yes.
What are your thoughts on like the whole talk about like potential development in Liberty State Park?
The Liberty State Park will never be developed, except for, I was on the Liberty State Park Commission. There is, one time it was planned to do a golf course in it, and that got denied by the governor. And I thought that would have been a good thing, because at that time, with Liberty, the golf course would have had the boys club have the kids as the caddies. It would have provided affordable golf, like $15 to play. And I thought that was good. And it was in an unused and environmentally bad section of the park, so it was good. I don't think you're gonna see any building. It's a state park. I was on the commission. You won't see anything beyond the two restaurants there, the parking lots, and maybe you'll see a redevelopment of the old building, Ferry Terminal, but I doubt that's gonna happen. So, no. I think it's gonna stay, it's the most used urban park in the state, and one of the most used in the country, so it's not gonna change, and the public outcry would be incredible. I just don't think you're gonna see it. I think it's the edge of the park, though. I think where the old Sewage Authority plant is, and where the old auto pound is, I think those are going to be developed. But the park itself won't be developed. Anyone else? If you are interested in this, and you think of any college, a couple of things. I think getting a law degree is a good background. I think a finance background is very important. So. And of course, knowing more as far as if you have a planning degree, those are degrees that I think would help you in this process.
Tom, maybe you could tell the guys a little bit about the development of our campus over the years. And,
Yeah,
you know.
okay. Development's been important for prep. Joe Cooney's an older man here who has been a mentor of mine, and really a guy who's got tremendous common sense. And we had an old convent that we prep on right next to it. We actually, and it had a fire, and really wasn't usable then. We sold that to a development team. They rehabbed it. It's now upscale housing. We took that money and we purchased the grammar school, and we purchased where the athletic field is now. We then sold, we had a parking lot across from the gym. We sold that gym. We did the street, and we, meaning everyone involved, not just everyone involved at Prep. And we built the street through the campus. They provided some of the funds for the rehabs of the buildings, and provided the funds for us to purchase the land where the field is. Where the field was a junkyard for spare parts for a ship. And when we started to do the field, there was some environmental problems from a chemical plant that was next to it. And at one point, I didn't think we were going to get through the process. You know, there was some problems that came up, but eventually we solved those problems and we were able to build the athletic field. And we were not able to get the piece in front of it, where the bar is at. This gentleman who came to us asked me if I could get someone to buy it from. I went to Prep, said we offered him the money he asked for, and then he immediately doubled the price. And he's done that to everyone who's tried to purchase a property from him, so the bar is still there. He's also defaulted on 2 contracts he signed. That's his business. What else did we do? We've rehabbed these buildings, put a lot of money in, done it in a sense that was historic, and hired some of the foremost historic architects by Glen Bell in the city. They have done these buildings in a manner that's both sensible and allows them to retain their historic character. The next steps, I think for prep is the grammar school building. The foundation for the grammar school is bad. It will get worse. There's no way of saving that building, in my estimation. There would be, the church and where the Commons is now used to be a church. That old church became a wreck and fell because the soil underneath was bad. And then there was a second church built under with a lot less weight and a lot more distribution of that weight. But the grammar school, if you look, it's bowing out on the side. If you went in the building, the piles are about 3 feet, the ground sunk underneath it. And frankly, I think we better take that down or it becomes a disaster. Prep is now before the preservation board, looking to get the approval to go do it. There's a lot of opposition to it because it's an old building, but I think people just don't understand what bad shape it's in and how bad the soil is underneath it. So that's the next step, and then we would use that as the new academic building and a parking lot in the beginning. So those are the next steps in terms of prep and what we do with the all land. But you know, at one time in the 50s, 60s, I think there was a movement afoot to move prep out of Jersey City into Scotch Plains, someplace way out in the suburbs. You know? Because the area down here was not a good area. It was bad. It was a lot of abandoned buildings around. It's a tough area. We used to talk about it, you know, play basketball. We used to fight our way in and fight our way out sometimes after games. So the area changed, and prep is now, you know, a wonderful area, and our value of our land is so much more. But times change, and you know, values of things change, and the cities come back. My son lives in Jersey City. He won't move to the suburbs. He wants to stay here. He's going to, if he has children, he wants to bring them here. And I think that's a big shift too. More and more people are staying in the cities rather than going to the suburbs, particularly young people. And a lot of older people are giving up their suburban homes and coming to move back into the city to be closer to New York, theater, restaurants, plays, museums. So that's that. And, yes.
I grew up in Jersey my entire life, so I saw firsthand the development it's gone through and to the point it is now. But in your perspective, given the state in which downtown, especially Jersey City was, did you ever think it gets to the point where now there's so many new developments and projects like springing up out of nowhere, seemingly?
Yeah, I was planning director, and I was at a redevelopment agency, so I always thought the key to Jersey City has always been the path. You can get into the city quick, cheaply, and safely, more importantly, safely, quickly. So, yeah, I always thought that downtown would happen, and it's just happened quicker than I thought. You know, it took a long time. First of all, Jersey City had a horrible reputation. It was known for corruption, you know, political infighting, just not a good place for people to go invest your money. A guy named Jerry McCann became mayor, and he was a young guy, he changed all, and he really went out to convince all the New York developers and developers that it was a good place to invest your money. So what happened in the city, first of all, was the brownstones in both Hamilton Park and Van Voss Park started to be developed by people from New York, because they were great value. They were beautiful buildings and cheap as hell. They got developed, and then developers started to see that you could put your money in, and it was a good place to make money because you didn't have to risk so much money in comparison to New York in the beginning. And then the waterfront land became available, and doing the waterfront is made us, you know, a city of the future. But the Heights is coming very quickly now, and what's happened in Bergen, Lafayette, I'm amazed at how quickly that's occurred. So, that's it. Question?
Yeah, I was gonna ask a question that I've heard speculation about for a couple of years now, and it's too bad that it's probably not gonna happen during my time at prep, but I commute in every day, and I drive past the Liberty State Park and the Science Center, and I was just wondering, quite frankly, if there would ever be a road from there straight into Jersey City by the Jersey City Medical Center because our family friends, the Shundlers, he had once mentioned to me that, or mentioned to my family that they had planned to make a road straight into the Jersey City Medical Center, or at least around that area, and I was just gonna ask if there's any developments or
Well,
plans to do
yeah,
so.
when I was at the planning department, one of the things that we had looked at, and was the extension of 280 on the railroad line that comes in at 6th Street, you know, as you go up the viaduct, right next to it, there's a elevated rail line along 10th Street. And we had looked as an extension of 280 onto that, and to separate New York traffic from New Jersey traffic. It made sense. It made sense financially, and we had the Turnpike do a study. The Turnpike study came out saying that it was doable and financeable. At that time, McCann left. Pucci was not a pro-development guy at that time. He became one, but at that time that idea died. The limitation on Jersey City will be, though, transportation. Communicable Avenue should be expanded and made into a highway coming in. And you're gonna see more ferries going back into the city. When we grew up, there were tons of ferries that went back and forth between New York and Jersey City. That kind of died. I think now, because of the limits, the path is already almost at capacity, and at capacity during certain times. They're gonna add 2 more cars to the path trains, and that will expand the capacity going in. But it's still not enough. You're gonna see more ferries coming back and across the river. But you're right, there should be another, there's only 3 ways into Jersey City.
Yeah.
From the other side, you know, the Turnpike, Communicable Avenue, and then from the north. So we do need better access, and infrastructure is what makes cities more livable. So if the commute time gets too bad, it will limit the ability of the city to develop. Anyone else? Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Lane. So guys, please sign in before you go, all right? And,
Mr. Key already gave us
oh, did you sign in already? Okay, perfect. Yeah, and Mr. Lee will be around for a couple minutes if you want to talk to him before the next period.
And I'll leave my email and my name. If anyone has any questions later on, either about the city or what's happening at Prep, I'd be glad to answer them. Thank you.
Yeah, it's only that, to get my family Yeah.
It's gonna be tall.
There you go.
That's Tom's great nephew up there. I didn't realize that.
Yes. Well, first when we talk
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Okay. Sam, we'll get it together.
All right.
Very nice. You can just go over by the piano, because we have a little from there.
All right, take it easy, Ethan.
Okay, bye. I was just passing Tom, nice to see you.
What's we usually do when I pass by Maple Eye? People usually do that.
I didn't know.
How are you? That's good. I saw the picture of your son, that was great.
I didn't make the sign.
No. It was, you went to something like this, no?
Yeah, my son.
Yeah, graduated, yeah. I thought that's fabulous. Yeah, it was him.
Yeah.
No, you might be thinking of Rocco.
All right.
At graduation.
Last year.
Yeah, that's
Well, I
the
said
one.
I traveled a lot.
Yeah, it's,
Oh, one, oh,
this
yeah.
guy's older.
That's the guy, I thought you were a young man, then.
What year was coming?
4.
Oh, four, okay.
Well, after I get Boston College.
Yeah, sure.
It's
Sure.
Next up. In law school. But anyway.
Good.
Guys, shoot yourself now. Next set up here. Hey, they don't have nine room.
Nobody goes. Oh, yeah. There's something else now? Okay, I believe you done. I got what Jerry.
I'll bring the box down. I gotta go see Kate real quick.
this weekend.
Who's that?
I need one of these.
What's that?
387.
Why don't you ask John to give you one?
I'm gonna juggle shit. How many tables we need in here? Because all the tables is in the classrooms in the English building.
The class, well, we can't get that.
I know.
So start bring some of it. I got this.
How many tables do we normally have in
Bring
here?
all the table right here, bring some over here. The brown,
The white.
the white.
I got two over there,
Yeah, bring it. Come over there.
We're like
Walk over there. Some folks.
since I got my overtime in this weekend, I think order cause my capital is going AWOL, and I had my capital over 3 years. The capital is I'm gonna laptop this time. I need more. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Good.